Today we are in for a special treat. I'm going to visit Canada's largest tree, the Cheewhat giant. I was here last year in the summertime, and when I was here I didn't have those moment camera lenses, and I was just using the native camera lens on my phone, and I did get some good shots, but I'm actually looking forward to seeing how maybe get a nice wide shot with the 18mm wide. But I'm actually out in the Pacific Rim National Park Reserve out on the west coast of Vancouver Island, and this is a protected area of old growth forest. So this Cheewhat giant is a giant western red cedar, and it's in a protected area, and all through this forest trail, this whole area has just got these massive old growth giant cedar trees. So you're going to get to see a few of those. My number one priority though is to get an awesome picture of the Cheewhat giant. I'd actually like to get a nice large panoramic and print it off as a canvas print to go above my headboard in my bed, in my bedroom, but we'll see what else will we come up with. We're not at the Cheewhat giant yet, but just walking the land of the giants right here. There's a giant western red cedar. This little grove in here, it's got some big trees. There's one there that splits in like to 2 or 3 on the top. Just huge trees. The actual age of this tree, I'm not sure. I know the Cheewhat giant, they said it's over 1,000 years old. These ones got to be at least 800 or more. I think it's so important in life to get out and visit these areas just to see them, because you never know one day when they're going to be gone. Especially, here in Vancouver Island, it's estimated to be less than 1% left of the forest are old growth trees from continued logging practices. Some of it's protected, but there's a lot of it that's not. So you never know when this is all going to be gone one day, either to logging or forest fires or a natural disaster. So I guess I'd like to say is get out and see these places, photograph them while you can, because one day you might not be able to. We're getting close. Here's another massive giant. When I came here last year, when I got to this tree, I actually thought this was the Cheewhat giant, because I'd never been here before, because this tree is just massive. Check that out. There's another 2 big massive ones. It's hard to explain when you're walking amongst these giant trees, the feeling that you get. But there's just some huge trees in here. So that's the Cheewhat giant. That's Canada's, still the record for Canada's largest known standing tree, and that's a western red cedar. From what I read, it says the trunk diameter is over 20 feet. And I can't remember how tall it is. I think it's over 200 feet tall. But it's hard to get the scale of how big this tree is without somebody standing beside it. But you can see my dog there, just at the base there. What's cool about this tree and the western red cedars is they get hollow in the middle. So that little opening right there, that almost looks like a mouth. If you wanted to, you could actually crawl up right up inside that tree. But I've never done it, and I'm not going to, but they get quite big inside. So I'm going to try a different couple compositions here. Where I'm standing is just kind of level with this ground here. The ground kind of comes down, the trail comes down here, and I like how it leads up to the mouth of the Cheewhat giant. So I'm going to, right now I got an 18mm lens, and I'm going to play around, get it set up in the tripod, and then we'll have a look. Okay, well, right now I've got the 18mm wide on there, and I stuck a polarizer on there to pull some of those greens out of the ferns. But I'm running into what I did same thing last year, is that light is really harsh coming through the trees there. So I'm gonna have to take maybe a couple underexposed shots and maybe just wait for the sun to pass too. Every once in a while the sun goes behind a cloud and it gives me a little bit of shade in here, but you can see even right here the sun just beating down on it, and I don't want that. I want that to be darker shaded areas, and then this lights up more. The soil here is like an orangish clayish color, and it looks nice going into the mouth of the Cheewhat there. So this is a matter of just waiting for the light to calm down so I can take a shot. But it's hard to get the scale of a tree this size. You know, I'm taking it landscape mode, but I'm going to take another shot in portrait mode so you can kind of see the scale of how tall it is. So I think I'll take a couple shots this way, and then I'll switch to portrait and get down low and close and see if I can get a better perspective. ISO 50, f2.4, 1/20th, eh? I'm gonna underexpose it a little bit. See, that light's still too harsh right there. I don't like this spot right here. I'm just gonna be patient, wait a few minutes, and see if that sun will pass. So I've gotten a little closer now. I switched to portrait mode because I'm trying to get the scale of the height of this tree. Diamond, come here. You're in my shot. Come on, over here. There you go. Lay down. But you can see it. I'm trying to get the right composition. What I really like is this tree right here that's well, it's actually a branch coming off of the Cheewhat giant, and all this green foliage kind of masking in the trunk there. And then we got some nice, really green ferns, and I do have a polarizer on there, so it's pulling those greens out. We got greens here, and it kind of follows up into the mouth of the tree. So the only thing I don't like is the open sky, but not really much I can do with that. So I'm going to take a couple shots here and then walk around a little bit and see if I can pull up some more compositions. think I got a couple good shots of the tree. Not only is there giant trees in here, but there's giant mosquitoes. I'm getting eaten alive. But I'm not going to get a panoramic that I was hoping for, actually. They're just the scenery on either side of that tree just isn't going to work for a pano. But I'm going to walk back up the trail, and there's a bunch of those other giant cedars that we saw on the way in. So I think I'm going to take a couple more pictures in there and then head back up to the truck.